My love of teaching really started when I was in high school. So I'd always kind of get to school early and get picked up late because both my parents worked full time. And so I ended up with some free time, and I would go to the library, and I made a little, piece of paper tent that just said free tutoring. And I started it kind of informally just because I loved helping people, and then it kind of evolved and grew into a formal peer tutoring program. So I approached my favorite teacher from high school. He was my science teacher, Mr. Skip Lovelady. And I asked him about being the teacher advisor for the peer tutoring club. And so he kind of ended up mentoring me as a young kind of burgeoning teacher. And he ended up approaching me in my junior year, and he said, "Hey Jennifer, I really want a teacher education class at our high school." So he and I worked together. We wrote a grant to the district to fund a teacher education class. So in my senior year of high school, I took that elective. And in the first semester, we were taught by Mr. Lovelady about different types of schools, about how to help students with different learning needs. And then in our second semester, we got placed in an actual classroom. So the second semester of my senior year of high school, I was actually the student teacher of 6th period pre-calculus at my high school.
Wow.
So that was my first time in front of a classroom, and it was just such a transformative experience for me. I mean, I'd always worked one-on-one with students, but being able to be in front of a classroom and connect with more students at one time was really an enriching experience for me, and it really kind of solidified my love of teaching, my passion for teaching, and just the idea that I am able to connect with other people and influence their minds and their confidence. And it was just such an important experience for me that really kind of set my path in terms of continuing to love to teach and to tutor.
At what point in your life were you like, this has to transition?
So there's a family I'm incredibly close to, and I've worked with all 4 of their kids. And I was sitting with their son working on his calculus homework, and his mom walked in. And I love his mom. Her name's Carol, and she's been such an important friend and role model for me because she actually was a teacher as well. When she was at USC, she would volunteer in South Central LA at the schools. So she walks into the kitchen and goes up to her son, and she says, "I hope you realize something." She said, "You and your brothers and your sister, you guys were all born on third base, sliding into home." She said, "All the kids I taught will work just as hard, if not harder. They're just as smart, if not smarter. And they're gonna go their whole lives, and they're never even gonna hold a bat. And you need to know that you were born sliding into home." So she's just having this, casual conversation with her son, but I was sitting there, and it really, really affected me because I always have loved working with my students one-on-one. But the fact of the matter is they have a tremendous advantage, right? Anybody who has a private tutor who can cater exactly to your needs and be available on a whim, I mean, that's a tremendous resource. So after hearing, Carol just casually having this conversation with her son, I approached her and I said, that really hit home for me, right? No pun intended with the baseball reference, but it really did. And she has been an instrumental part in kind of guiding the heart and the fire of this project, and just really wanting to see, okay, how can we take an in-person tutoring experience just as personalized, just as supportive, just as effective, and how do we really broaden that access? How do we make that exceptional tutoring resource more accessible, more affordable, so that you give more kids a chance at that?